Hello, and welcome back for another episode of Monolock Music, Sandakan Music, and Sharon Graziani. And in today's episode, a little bit something different maybe. I decided to take another turn to another direction, let's say, from the style that I used to do before, if it was some kind of rolling bass, and kind of traditional psytrance. There was a lot of evolution in this project in the last years, but I think that now I find myself more and more attractive to this tribal psytrance, something that maybe it's going back to the root, because for me the journey of psytrance started somewhere around 1998 or something like this, as a young boy. First time I heard this music, it was like, wow, what is it? Wow, what is this sounds? I used to sit in my room and maybe dance a little and listen to this music out loud until my parents would be totally pissed. And for me, there was something there in this tribal feeling and sounds that was really intriguing me. Now, the idea of this type of music that basically it's a little bit of a revealing, it wouldn't be part of the upcoming album of Monolock, but it's the general style of what is about to come, a little bit more tribal, a little bit more dreamy / with stories inside, maybe a little bit more melodic, not necessarily, but something that it's a little bit different. I think it's a little bit more back to the roots, but in the same time, if correct me if I'm wrong, mature. If you're already with us, so I would love to have you subscribe to our channel and press the button, the bell button, and join us for more updates. And it's really important for us because I do try to work hard to bring you the things that will be interesting for you, and you know, so I will be happy that you will be part of it, and I'm really happy for all your guys that writes me and ask for things and have their questions, and I promise that I will try to answer everything, and if not, to go in the ballpark into trying to bring you actually what you are asking for. So down below you can find in the description our shops where you can find the equipment that we use. You can find there in the links products that we recommend, our label, our social media, and feel free to go to follow and to enjoy the music that we produce, and let us know in the comment what you think. So continuing, this is the new style that I embraced lately, and I wanted to show you again. I think this is one of the more let's say big project or elaborate projects. I think this specific one something that I work on for at least 5 years, maybe a little bit less, on and off, of course. I also in one point tried to brainstorm and work with some very talented friend on it, but it didn't work out because it's kind of complicated track, I think, to bring and to make the connection together. So I wanted to present for you like the next idea of what for me psytrance is in my evolution at the moment. And let's start from the beginning, let's say. So we have the intro. kind of epic, melodic. Again, it's some kind, actually all this track you can understand that already the track is a start of something Irish, maybe in idea, or Middle Eve style, or whatever you want to call it. So all the track basically started from this idea. I told you that usually I like to search for ideas and something that I want to create, and to create around it. If it's a story, if it's an instrument, always to find something that, you know, push me into building around it. And in this case, it was this hurdy-gurdy. The story that I have with hurdy-gurdy, that I fell in love with this instrument many years ago, let's say, not so many, but relatively. I was walking in the streets of Budapest, while in the middle of the street, in the middle of the day, happily walking, I saw this group of people. I'm not sure if it's were like a family or it was a group of girls and guys that basically stand in the middle of the street, and they were chanting some kind of folk music, really traditional one. That it's so traditional that I don't familiar with, but a local. And I was having they have maybe some kind of tambourine or something like really simple for drums, but there was this instrument in a box that I never saw before. It was really for me like a discovery. With this, I don't remember if it was I think it was a girl playing on it, that actually had this kind of sound that I never heard before. Okay, a little bit reminding something from the Scottish tradition, something that I never heard before. The part that was capturing me the most, beside the sound, this big sound of strings and this, it was when you are playing the hurdy-gurdy, you have this, I don't know, you call it a knob or something that you move around. And it's like making also rhythm that I was actually trying to capture somewhere over here. This. It's like this rhythm that you are actually making with this movement of this disc that play this sound, and then you have all the, you know, the keys that are not traditional pitched instrument. That it was, for me, it was like a discovery, and I said that okay, this is something that I want to learn. It never happened. I never learned to play the hurdy-gurdy, maybe in later time. But it was intriguing me until today. I love it. So I was thinking for myself in some point that I want to do something with this hurdy-gurdy. And I was thinking about something Irish. So I was finding something that kind of traditional kind of melody, Irish melody. I think it's Irish. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's Scottish. Maybe it's something in the area. And what I was trying to do is like this big epic, or whatever you call it, intro. and for that I was using this is actually funny to say, but this part, it's oud. It's a string instrument that comes already from the Arab world, or from the Africa or Asia area that is not connected even remotely. I guess that there is correlation also in or reference to this type of sound also in Irish or other countries, but it's something that I use that I love these small things that comes and go. Traditional electric guitar, strings. And of course, marching drum, war drum. Like also you can hear that I really didn't finish it all the way through, not mix-wise and not like I think for myself that there is a lot of things that are still missing in the track, like interesting transitions and things like that. But the idea is already there. I guess that it will take me a little bit more time until it will be baked as I want. And for me, like doing stuff like this, it's kind of strangely to say it's really artistic, but it's also really mathematics. Why? Because I think in a way that I need to solve equations, musical equations or technological equations, whatever. And the idea behind it is that sometimes I'm stuck in a situation that I don't know how to continue from there. Like, okay, how do I do now the transition between this okay and to this? Like there is need to be something that connecting, like really gently. I didn't want to make this psytrance or EDM sound that is like, yeah, let's go. No, it needs to be something really soft, really kind of exciting that brings you, you know, to this. And I found this solution over here, you know, all the time. It's the same melody that goes back and forward. And here I found a solution over here with this melody over here that basically take it and change it all over the same sound. So basically I took whatever we had till now, that is this repetitive, beautiful melody, and I was kind of changing it to do something different. And this is where the part that it's the beginning of the story. Like I will tell you this most probably in the future. I will tell you it many times more. That for me, again, the perception of this type of music, it's like Peter and the Wolf. I know that it will sound strange for you, but whoever heard Peter and the Wolf, or whoever didn't hear Peter and the Wolf, I advise you to go and listen to it. It's a children's story that it's very famous. It was really famous when I was a child. And there is, I think also online you can find it, there is this story that they about this child and whatever. The story is not the issue, but they introduce you all the time these instruments inside that describe some kind of how you say, characters or situations. And as a child, or even as a grown up, it's like it's guiding you through the story. And my idea is to do something kind of the same without words, because it's not a story literally, it's a musical story for me. So yeah, we started it. And because it's psychedelic story, we try to bring all these elements that are kind of giving you an atmosphere. I want you to have this. Okay, the name of the track, at least for the moment, it's Green Catholic or Elves. Celtic, not Catholic. But I'm dyslexic, so forgive me. The idea is that you are in the forest somewhere, like in the how you call it? In your imagination, you are in the forest. You are this, and basically you have this imagination of walking in the forest, and then something happens. It's like you walk in this, and all these things coming, sounds behind you. What's going on? What is going on? Something to relax you. Small flute on the background. Okay, we are okay. I try a little bit to make sounds that are organic, like, let's say, going in the forest, so you have all these crickets, and you have the sounds of the location, and maybe you have, like, again, it's many ideas that try to be working together, like the horn that I heard some of the days when I was playing in Switzerland in some event. And in the morning we were going back to the nature, and there was this person somewhere in the mountains that were playing this horn. And the flute, that is, for me, it's always intriguing. And all these sounds that, it's not like, I don't know, these zap sounds that, for me, it's like a frog in this part. So I try to make an atmosphere. Open some kind of drums in it. And here I know that it's not connected, but I heard that this kind of tribal chanting and something that, I don't know how it drove me to something that it's more Australian, Aborigine, but the didgeridoo, it seemed for me fit over here. Sounds that I like the most is growling, something that comes out of the earth. this is kind of strange, to be honest with you. I was looking for something like atmospheric vocal or something that will connect all this weirdness that's coming. And I didn't want to use this cultic voices or something that it's kind of been used or gated vocal. And I was looking something totally from another place. And because I said that I was using the oud in the beginning, and I use these instruments that are not necessarily connected, like didgeridoo and other stuff in my music or in this specific track, so I said I will go the furthest that I can for vocals. And I found, correct me if I'm wrong, if I have a Persian audience, so I think it's Persian vocal or I think it's Persian, and it was fitting like gloves here. Some flute. Like this sound, for example, it's something that it's some kind in between organic and non-organic. Like it's not organic at all, if you listen to it like this. But in the constant, I don't know. It almost sounds like a kind of strange flute, because it's in the ballpark. Some atmospheric vocal. And also this vocal, for example, it's something between vocal to flute. And now in the opposite, what I was trying to use, it's the same closure that we had here. To introduce back the intro, basically the main break. Again, to bring back the atmosphere. Now the approach here for transitions, there was somebody that was asking me on the channel to show some transition. In this specific situation, this specific track, I'm not looking for excitement out of transitions. Like in many psytrance today, like it's like EDM, it's like, oh, you are waiting for this this lift feeling and excitement, and then they stop you and then you continue. And I understand it, it's wonderful, and I love to do it in different type of tracks. In this one, I thought that it will be too much because, again, we are in a walk in the forest, and there is all this stuff around us. So I think that you are so much into this atmospheric situation that I don't want to break you out of it. I want you to have a certain flow with this idea. I introduce you something. Something very delicate. And from this something very, very delicate, again, I also think about it in a mode of a DJ or the person that are standing or dancing in front of the sound system. You have this epic, beautiful music surrounding you, filling you up, and with all the people around you, everybody is relaxed, and suddenly, also frequency-wise, you are almost missing here sub-content, like it's existing, but it's really, really subtle. And then from this quiet, you know that something is coming, and then the kick and bass is kicking you, bring you to your fulfillment. And again, a little bit into the, I call it digging. Really gentle, really take you back to a story. Electronically. And introducing again the stuff that we were saying, that it's like a flute. Suddenly it's not a flute anymore, it's like, it's really like, the idea is to make something really, really tribally, something that you feel the rhythm, that like, I know that it's taking you, the story here, it's starting in the forest with the cultic atmosphere. It brings you into other places that it's kind of but again, this is the beauty out of this type of creation, that there is no rules. You can do whatever you want. Again, in some things, it's like a mathematical equation that you need to find your right solution in certain points. Here, I didn't finish yet all the solutions that I need, and yeah. So the idea here is to make a little bit the vocal, a little bit to break it and to make it a little bit more This is the original. So it's to take it and to break it to pieces in a way. I guess that in the end it will be something a little bit exaggerate like this. And to play with it a little bit. One is the... Again, as you understand, mix I don't have, I only put the idea in the beginning. Kick and bass is really simple. Now the idea behind this type of music, it's that usually we say psytrance music, it's kick and bass, kick and bass, kick and bass. The kick should be hitting you in the head, the bass should shoot at you like a machine gun. This one is not about the bass. Like the bass, it's escorting and creating this gummy feeling or stretching feeling and filling the gap between kick to kick. A little bit like techno music, totally different, but kind of. And it's supposed to give you this feeling that it's like there, but it's not dominant. The dominant part is the kick. The kick is moving the stuff, and the bass is like escorting it in the low frequencies to support it, and not necessarily to create this machine gun style rhythm, and it gives a lot of space also in the mix, also in general in your ear. Like you still have the movement of the bass and the kick, you can hear it. This. It's there, it's not an ear catcher in a way, but it gives you this atmosphere, this really cool atmosphere. And it gives all the other instruments to catch the place and to, like, okay, if we go again to tribal music and if it's African or other, they don't have bass. Let's say that in Australia they use, I'm talking back in the time, most probably, I'm kind of thinking out loud. They had the didge that goes really, really low, and you can play with it as an instrument that it's like as a bass with the drums and everything. But there wasn't back then bass. Like the bass was or vocal that goes really low, somebody that chanting in really low vocal and high or whatever. Or that you have the drums, the djembe or some kind of other drums that gives you this low frequency. So I think that in this atmosphere, the bass is doing a solid but secondary part. Of course, if you didn't notice by now, the rhythm of this track, it's triplets. But I think also in a way, it's you don't that you feel it, maybe. Not like ta 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 ta, like the rhythm, yes. But it's more solid than, okay, let's feed you the taka 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 taka. It's again, I wouldn't maybe naturally go with the triplet sound or triplet rhythm because I'm kind of tired of it. There was a period that in my tracks, like even if I play my sets in clubs, So every third or fourth track I would have something with triplet. Usually I will put the triplet as a section in the track, and I wouldn't play a full track of triplets. For me, for some reason, it's hard to make a triplet track that works, especially that I don't see it always fitting in a set for me. I know that in today this new EDM, Vini Vici, Armin, and other, that it's ruling the genre actually, this triplet style, and this everybody's waiting for tak, that it's cool. This specific one was created out of another equation, that the equation is really simple, that a lot of tribal music is coming out of triplets, so there is nothing much you can do against it. So triplet it is, and I don't think it went out bad, went out beautiful. There is a lot of work to do still on it. As you see, usually my projects are a little bit more organized than what you see here. So let's go channel by channel, just for the sake of it, and see what everything is doing. So we have a layer of sub, really soft, beautiful intro with this I don't know even how to call it, like vibes pad. And they are all for the same reason, to make the atmosphere. So it's subtle, but normal impact. Now this is not a vocal actually. And kick. I love it. I love it. Some of texture. Some kind of patch of noise that I was making. Sometimes I use samples, especially for percussion. This is mostly oh yeah. So yeah, it's all this small stuff, as I call it, מכניס נשמית, כן. all this small stuff that brings you an atmosphere, that tries to catch your ear. Usually the stuff that I use is not that flat, which means that are here, they're all sitting in the center. I just put them inside, and I didn't think about it so much because it's not at the mixing time. I separate usually my creation for 3 parts because luckily and unfortunately I do all the 3 parts. One is the creation itself, like basically the writing. I sit, I write, I think, and it's the most difficult part, I think, and this is why I don't want anything else. I don't want to do anything else but writing. Writing for me, it's to sit and put all the parts in the right way, in the right place, to create the atmosphere that I want, the idea that I want, to bring it to light, to make the concept work, to break all my mathematical equations. Again, this is how I see it. And to bring it actually into something that is almost a finished product. Call it like this. The second part will come that, okay, I take all what I did, all this creation, and I give it a stage. So basically, I stage it. It's like writing a show and then putting the show actually into action. And this part, for me, it's mixing. That in mixing, I want everything to pop out in the right place, in the right time. There is the stuff or the parts that need to sit in the back, in the front, to the right, to the left. Who is the main leading actor and who is the background. So to find a place for everything. And believe me, there is enough space for everything. Also in this big track, usually again, as I said, most probably until I finish it, it will be a little bit less channels than what it's now, because there is a lot of instruments and stuff that I don't use. But I don't know, maybe I also will add stuff over here. So usually my projects are not big, are not crossing the 70 channels. Some of them are even less than that. So yeah, there is a lot of cleaning work to do, and spacing and frequency design, that it's all happening in the mixing. In the moment that the mixing is working out nicely, happy with it and satisfied with it, the next step will be mastering. That in mastering, I actually check how it will work on the stage. Sometimes I actually check it how it works on the stage before I get to the final version. From time to time, I'm so sure at my last version that I, like after one test in a club or in an outdoor venue, I know that this is master and this is good. And the idea is this: I don't match, and I try not to mingle between these 3 sections, because if I will be busy, it's not saying that when I'm creating I don't think about the sound in the end. Yeah, of course I am, because I'm coming from engineering and DJ set of mind, so I know what I want it to be the end result, and this is helping me to put things already in place in a certain way, that I know that, okay, I meant this, I want this, this is the part that goes here. I do some kind of techniques like using reverbs, delays, or spacement in a way while I produce, but I don't put my effort and thought on it, because I don't want it to take my time. The only thing that for sure I will bring to almost perfection, it will be the kick and bass. That from the beginning I will try to push it to be strong and solid. I apologize, my dog most probably heard something. So yeah, so, and mastering is in the end. To be honest with you, what I think, if you are a creator, you don't have to be a mixer and a mastering. It's nice, to know mixing and to know mastering to a certain extent, to express yourself or to know how you want things. But it's not necessarily, and I believe that many artists do prefer also me, but for some reason I do it otherwise. It's to have your own mastering and mixing engineer, a person that you trust, that you know your sound and know what you want, and bring you there without you need to do it yourself, because it's another set of ears, another professional that looks on your creation and can refine it in a certain way that you cannot, because you are attached and you are part of it. And maybe also it's something that you hear so much because you work on it, that a lot of things maybe you don't pay attention or you don't know exactly. So yeah, this is what it is. And that's it, I guess. Like more or less. So I guess that's it for today. You understand, and now one of the things that you need to know that the near future, I wouldn't tell you when because I am not sure when, I will start to pop out the new album for Monolock. That I told you it will be something out of this style, not necessarily so soft. It will be a dance floor oriented album with a lot of interesting things behind it. Something that I was working on, I guess, in the last 2 to 3 years to bring it to the place that it is today. So it's something to wait for. Monolock album is coming. Most probably I will start to put teasers somewhere around next month, towards the end of the month. So keep posted also on YouTube, also on Facebook and in our other platforms. Again, on the description below, you can find our shops. Thomann shop and Amazon, where we are introducing you the equipment that we use, that we recommend, and you can check it out and see if you're interested. If you shop to our link, so get some kind of contribution. Keep on supporting our channel and write us and suggest what you think that you would like to see. It's really nice to see that people are engaging with the channel. It nicely going, and that's it. So thank you very much for another episode, and get tuned for the next Monolock album. Will be something really special and unique, promise. And have a good one. Bye bye.